His students write all of the reviews. Most of them are at Notre Dame or these other places. He was lucky enough to have been Johnny on the spot in Palestine, Israel, when the Dead Sea Scrolls came in 1947-48. So he was one of the original people who were out there, and he was able to parlay that into the chair at Harvard. His book is very good for that period, for the 60s and 70s. It's called The Ancient Library at Qumran. The Ancient Library at Qumran, written in the 50s or early 60s. And I thought it was the most elegant book that I read when I was studying at that time, until I came and started teaching it myself, and I saw what I consider to be the imperfections or holes in it. And the main thing is that Cross, as I told you, is an expert on Canaanite poetry of the 10th century BC, but he knows little or nothing about the history of early Christianity, and he can't relate the scrolls to anything except early biblical history, not early Christian history. And so I think his work is defective on that score, and it's been followed religiously by a host of other of his associates, which is where we get this consensus. So in any case, I tell you this because Maccabees 1 tells you that Judas is of the first priestly course, or that Matthias is, which is Yoyarib. So I don't think they're an illegitimate priesthood at all. So we get all these people. Bilga, of the line of Bilga. We did the Heliodorus episode here. And then we have chapter 4, Simon mentioned before. An informer against the funds began to slander Onias further. And then he had the effrontery to name this benefactor, Onias, the protector of his countrymen, this zealot for the laws, an enemy of the public. So again, Onias is a zealot for the laws. And he's also, just like Mattathias is. And he is also protector of his countrymen. In early church literature, where James is described, he's described as the protection of the people. And the name is given to him, Oblias. It's in Eusebius and some of the others. When his priesthood is being described, James, the brother of Jesus, he's called protector of the people. I try to show in my work that it's very similar to this Onias. Okay, we have to take a break, but one last thing we want to leave with you here. Jason, line 7, Jesus in other linguistic variations, Joshua in other variations. The brother of Onias usurped the high priesthood from him by underhand methods. And in line 13, he's called godless wretch, no true high priest, because he wasn't righteous and pious like his brother Onias. Jason set no bounds to his impiety. So you have to read this, but what we're getting is a whole bunch of infighting. Then we have another one here, Menelaus, line 23, the brother of the earlier Simon, and he's evil and a backslider. And then finally, Onias is executed by the Syrian kings in Antioch in line 33. Oh, this goes on and on and on and on and on and on until chapter 6. The king set up a statue of the Olympian Zeus in the temple. And it's at that point in chapter 7, if I can find 8, where is Judas Maccabee introduced here? Hold on. Oh, at the end of chapter 5, that Judas Maccabee is finally introduced. So we you know, chapter 5, the end of it, and the beginning of chapter 6, is where chapter 1 of Maccabees 1 starts off with. So this has 5 or 6 chapters before the beginning of Maccabees.